Their birthdays we remember because of the presents, some because of the celebrations. But I think I always remember my 55th birthday for three very different reasons. Two unexpected surprises from my parents, a simple celebration with my own family, and a few taps on my CPF mobile app that quietly reminded me that life had entered a brand new chapter. None of these moments were dramatic, yet together they changed the way I look at growing older. So today, I'd like to share this journey with you. Hi everyone, I'm JY. Welcome back to the Second Half Playbook. If you are new here, this channel is where I share my personal journey through the second half of life, learning how to age with purpose, prepare with wisdom, and appreciate what truly matters. I turned 55 this week. For many people, it's simply another birthday. But here in Singapore, turning 55 is also an important milestone. It marks the beginning of a new chapter, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, and for me, personally. Over the past week, a few ordinary moments reminded me that life keeps moving forward, whether we are ready or not. I'd like to share those moments with you. Last weekend, I went to visit my parents, just as I usually do. They suggested having dinner at a coffee shop near their home. It sounded like any other family dinner. We found a table, looked through the menu, and started ordering our food. Then my parents casually said, "This dinner is to celebrate your birthday." I was genuinely surprised. My birthday was still a few days away, but they were worried we might not get to meet on the actual day. So they wanted to celebrate it early. They insisted on paying for dinner, not just for me, but also for my child who was with me. If you know my parents, you know they are very frugal people. They belong to a generation that worked hard for everything they had. Growing up, they taught me not to waste food, not to spend unnecessarily, and to appreciate every dollar and cent. So when parents like that quietly decide to treat you to a birthday dinner, you know it isn't really about the meal. It's their way of saying, "We're happy you're here." Sometimes, love doesn't come wrapped in expensive gifts. Sometimes, it comes in a simple meal, shared in a coffee shop table. As I look across at my parents that evening, one thought stayed with me. No matter how old I become, to my parents, I'm still their son. After dinner, we went back to their home. We chatted about everyday things, family, health, life. Everything felt completely normal. Then suddenly, my parents disappeared into the kitchen. A few moments later, they came back carrying a birthday cake. I honestly wasn't expecting that. That was surprise number 2. The cake itself wasn't extravagant, but knowing my parents, I knew it meant a lot. For many families, buying a birthday cake is routine. For my parents, who have always been careful with money, it was a gesture of love. At the moment, something quietly touched my heart. When we are children, our parents celebrate our birthdays because we are growing up. When we are 55 and our elderly parents are still celebrating our birthday, that's no longer something to take for granted. It's a blessing. Many people would give anything to spend one more birthday with their parents. That evening reminded me not to overlook the blessings that are already in my life. Then came my actual birthday. The night before I turned 55, I opened my CPF mobile app. Everything looked familiar. My ordinary account, my MediSave account, my special account. Out of curiosity, just after midnight, when it officially became my birthday, I opened the app again. This time, something had changed. My special account had disappeared. In its place, was my retirement account. No notification, no celebration, no dramatic announcement. Just a quiet change after a few taps on my phone. The CPF system had done exactly what it was designed to do, efficiently, automatically, but somehow that simple change felt much bigger than an update in an app. The app had changed in a moment, but life had actually been changing for years. The CPF app simply reminded me that I had officially entered another chapter of life, not the end of the journey, simply the beginning of a new season. That moment made me stop and ask myself a simple question. Is this a new chapter? How do I want to live it? When we are younger, we spend much of our lives building our careers, building our families, building our finances, building our responsibilities. But perhaps the second half of life is less about building and more about becoming. Becoming healthier, becoming wiser, becoming more present, becoming more grateful. I've decided that every year I want to conduct a personal life audit, not because something is wrong, but because I want to live more intentionally. How is my health? Am I taking care of my body so it can continue taking care of me? How is my emotional well-being? Am I protecting my peace and focusing on what truly matters? How are my relationships? Am I spending enough quality time with my parents while I still can? With my child? With my family? Because time together becomes more precious every year. Am I still learning? Still curious? I don't believe we ever retire from learning. As long as we are learning, we are still growing. Then there's purpose. Purpose doesn't end at 55. In many ways, it becomes even more meaningful. Perhaps that's one of the reasons I started the second half playbook. Not because I have all the answers, but because if sharing my journey helps even one person navigate theirs a little better, then it's worth doing. Finally, there are finances. Not because money is everything, but because financial resilience gives us independence, choices, and peace of mind. To me, these aren't separate goals. Together, they are the foundation for living well in the second half. On my actual birthday, I also had a simple celebration with my own family. Nothing extravagant, just sharing a meal and spending time together. As I look around the table, I realized how fortunate I am. Just a few days earlier, my parents had celebrated my birthday. Now, my own family was celebrating it with me. 3 generations, each expressing love in their own quiet way. The older I become, the more I realize that these ordinary moments are actually life's greatest treasures. Looking back over the past week, I realized that all these moments were quietly telling me the same thing. Life moves on. Our parents grow older. We grow older. Our children grow up. None of us can stop time, but we can choose how we spend it. Turning 55 doesn't make me feel old. It makes me feel grateful. Grateful that my parents are still here. Grateful that my family is still around the same table. Grateful for another year to learn. Another year to grow. Another year to contribute. And hopefully, another year to become a little wiser. None of us knows what tomorrow will bring. That's why today matters. Call your parents while you still can. Spend time with your family. Take care of your health. Strengthen your finances. Keep learning. Keep finding purpose. and never stop appreciating the people who make life meaningful. Because I've come to believe that the second half of life isn't about counting how many years we have left. It's about making every year we are given truly count. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If today's reflection resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you've already crossed this milestone, what did turning 55 teach you? And if you're approaching 55, what are you looking forward to most? Until next time, take care of yourself. Treasure the people you love, and let's continue writing this second half of life together. I'll see you in the next episode of the Second Half Playbook.